I really cannot support the majority, if not all, of the ministers that are there. And some people are already calling for it. Where is the vote of no confidence? And if it has to go there, the people will see it will go there. Because it's all about making sure we have a government that is functioning in the best interest of the country. And with the people of St. Martin, with what has happened, we didn't cause what happened here. And this is where the people of St. Martin need to stop and think. We did not cause this uproar. We did not send home this government. There's been discord within this government and this parliament that supports them, the 8, for the longest while. Many have been going along to get along. I said that in my speech before MP Meyer spoke. Going along to get along. And at some point, the pot had to burst. You even hear the minority coalition member mentioning that not everything he had agreed with either. Certain things was difficult for him. He had to hush his mouth, and this and that and the other. I cannot be in a coalition like that. I cannot be in a coalition like that. I have to be 100% believing in the people who I have placed there and able to also make suggestions, which I even do from the opposition. Some of my colleagues even say, but what are you telling them what to do for? I say, because of the country, because it's lacking, and I can see it lacking.
But you said earlier that you'll have worked well with us. So 5 + 2 is 7. So 7. All you need now is just 2 or 3 from the other side to cross and form a new government. That could be done without going back to the polls, right?
Exactly. That could be done without going back to the polls.
Are you in favor of that?
I would be in favor of whatever would work out best for the people of St. Martin.
Next week, they decide, MP Jacob, we want to form a government and we want you to be Prime Minister. Would you accept it?
Well, you see, Oral, if we have to have the discussion, I am not getting into a discussion for a function. I am getting into a discussion for the greater picture of what is good for the country. So if I am Prime Minister and it's the same government they got there, absolutely not. The rest of the government is the same? Nope. It cannot be that way. It cannot function that way. We have to have people with the same vision moving forward. We have to have people willing to work and work hard and willing to honestly tell the people of St. Martin, this is what is happening. Because I believe if you have a household, I don't know if I hit the mic, probably did. If I have a household and my budget is small, my children want Jordan shoes, they have to know they can't get Jordan shoes. You understand? So if it is that for St. Martin, for the next year, for the next 2 years, we cannot afford to do this. But in the meantime, you know what? We're going to come together, have a jollification and fix the house. We're going to come together and fix the street in front of our house. And then we're going to fix the neighbors and the neighbors and the neighbors. And so we're going to have our whole neighborhood and community fixed. Then that's the type of people I am willing to work with, Oral.
How you feel about U.S. preclearance?
You know what is interesting? U.S. preclearance was negotiated when we were in government under Prime Minister William Marlin. We lobbied very hard for it. So we were on a trajectory. We had a vision for the upgrade of the airport. The cargo building was upgraded. All of this was planned and executed lately, but planned and on our agenda. The hurricane took us in another direction. But U.S. preclearance is something that's an asset for St. Martin. From the time the World Bank funding came into play, that was taken off the table. It's like we're not wasting funds on that. And we had to ask ourselves, why? If something is important for the economic development of St. Martin, and that is how we saw it, and well, I can't say that's how we see it, because who are in government are not seeing it the way the members in Parliament that put them there saw it. And so they agreed to this loan agreement with the European Investment Bank and with the World Bank for the airport. We had, in fact, I'm interested, really interested to see if a new meeting will be called with the airport, because we have a pending meeting with the airport. Still waiting. Meeting? Because the chair lady mentioned something about she needs to get the airport in to answer these questions, but we have been calling for the airport for months to finalize a meeting that started since last year. Okay, suddenly now, I said it also, as a matter of fact, last week in our press conference. I said I would really like to see them come and explain all the options that are in front of them, because the same minister that held the presentation, or the presentation was made to, is going on social media and on the media and saying, well, it was just a presentation. Oh, well, it was just a presentation. But if you're going to bring information to light that is a good deal for St. Martin, and we cannot ascertain completely whether this one is until we get all the facts. But based on some of the facts that I've already learned, it goes more in a direction we as opposition were talking about months ago. I know you had MP Emmanuel here already, so I'm sure he must have said it. He more than once asked the government, when they were saying there's no other game in town, we can't find funding, there is no funding out there. What about Villanova? What about this one? What about, he mentioned several different, say, big insurance companies that have membership on the island or in the Netherlands, former Netherlands Antilles. There was also the Piper Jeffrey option that was there. We never got to see, as Parliament, exactly what was Piper Jeffrey offering, what other options were available. We were just told there's no other option. When the Dutch say jump, we say how high. And then you don't want us to feel that we're being manipulated. I feel differently. I really and truly feel like there must be some ulterior motive to keep St. Martin down. And I'm telling you, things were tough back in 2017 at the end of the year, but had the people stuck with a team that was working and standing for them, I think we would have been in a much better position today.
Do you think others are working hard to kill U.S. preclearance because it came from your party?
I really would hope not, because a lot of stuff that we started, they had no choice but to finish. Just like when we were in there, if we went in when they had things in the pipeline, to turn it back would make absolutely no sense. You might want to do it slightly differently or whatever the case is, but I think across the board, the majority, if this thing had come down to a vote in terms of which option to take, I'm sure the majority of Parliament would have voted for this, because it's a direct loan to the airport. Government is not necessarily a middleman in it. And if the World Bank has $50 million that they can give to the government to invest in projects on this island, there are many: education, sports, culture, arts, economic development. How many of the business people are saying we need a help? How many people, we're looking at Phillipsburg, you want to do something with Phillipsburg, put incentives there, create a project for that.